A well-behaved woman is trim and proper. Chores always done, not a hair out of place. When the husband comes home, she greets him with a smile.
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
Are you tired of Hitler?
I feel no shame.
Okay, one liar as a kid can find another liar.
I want that stricken from the record.
How else is she gonna learn if she doesn't have a feather?
I can butt fuck in the big house.
You're a mess, girl.
I am here to audition for Babysitters Club extras. I brought my own hammer.
Well, welcome to Well-Behaved Women.
Hi.
Okay. So Gina with We Live, she's got her podcast, right? And
Yes.
they have been growing, and they've got, I think, 8 episodes now.
Oh, wonderful.
Very excited about it. They had me leave a voicemail as Susan, asking.
Susan called?
Susan left a voicemail because she was trapped somewhere, and she needed someone to come and get her.
Oh my God, I've got to
because she got herself into a mess. Into a mess.
Into a mess.
Oh
no. I don't know
right.
what that was.
But I wanted to play you the intro song because it is just so enjoyable.
Okay.
Well, it's really old.
So
Yeah, so he called.
This is a test. This is only a test.
That's amazing.
If this had been an actual emergency,
It sounds-
the attention signal you just heard would have been followed by official information, news, or instructions.
That's
It's 6 a.m. and you are listening to the We Live.
it's crazy. It's crazy good.
That is amazing.
Oh my God, Joe, you done it. It's
You done
amazing. We
it.
love this intro. I love this intro.
Oh, that's
Just keep at it.
phenomenal. I was just like trying to dance with it the whole time.
I know, you can't help but move.
No,
I'm
you
just
have
like,
to.
woo, woo. All right, this is great. All right. As someone who likes to dance,
I
All
like
right.
it, but I'm not good at it.
I'm a moving.
That's okay.
Because I've got others. I don't want you to be seeing what I'm
Oh
reading.
yeah, sorry, no peeking at the nose.
No peeking. All right, we're keeping
No spoilies.
the other one for him. The other episode.
Oh yeah. I gotta hold
Accidentally
my
called
accent.
Bia her. Whatever.
Yeah, no, I gotta hold my accent back.
Yeah, I gave the note today for today that we were going to need accents. And I was very excited about it. And then we got some bad news. So B isn't joining us today because he had to work, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah,
It happens.
I understand it.
We're millennials. We usually have to work. It's just
trying to ride it out till I have, I don't know, better income.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway. Broke ass millennial probs.
Broke millennial life.
Broke millennial life.
Hoping my teeth don't fall out.
I literally have a debt that I am working on paying off in like a smaller but more intense set of chunks.
Yeah.
So that I can pay a third of the cost to have gotten holes in my teeth filled in.
Yeah, I've
That's
done
it.
that before. And I was
It's
on the
so
hook for years.
fucking expensive.
I was on the hook for years because of the interest rate. I had to learn so much about interest rates.
This
because of
is
that.
like right before the interest rate is kicking in. They're basically like, okay,
What's it going up to now?
What?
What's it going up to? Do
It's
we know?
probably going to be like at 20% or something, but I'm going to have it paid off before the interest rate kicks in. So, and it'll be, they offered me like a third cost settlement. And so I'm doing that.
Okay.
So guys, if you don't pay your bills long enough, and you let your credit score suffer enough, you
on
can
my way back up.
pay your debts off in partial payments because they'll get desperate and be like, look, whatever your broke ass has, we'll take it.
That's a great reminder that I need to set up my payment plan with my federal loans.
Do it.
I need to do that ASAP.
I know my dad.
They're not going to be happy with my income right now. That's okay. We're working on it.
They have a number of like income driven repayment plans that are taking the payment down to 0. You can appeal. Like when I get home, I'm actually going to be working on that application of like appealing for. I don't think it's called SAVE, but it's like
Safe.
If you went into a program basically being like sold a bill of goods of like when you graduate, you'll have all sorts of employment opportunities, and then you just like never work in that field. Archaeologist. That you could be eligible for.
What about your GPA? Does that come into effect? Because my GPA was shit.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's like if you were brought into a program that really didn't have a lot of chances of employment in the real world at that point, like on graduation, it really wasn't going to be like you were basically being sold a bill of sale. Yeah. So if you can kind of appeal that and say, hey, I have like never worked in this field because there's really not a lot of work to be had, you can get part or all of your loan repaid.
Okay, can you just definitely keep me in on that? Because that sounds exactly like what I did.
Well, not only that, but if you have the application in and if anyone wants to flood the system, you put in your application and basically if they don't review it or give you like a final call on what you're going to do by a certain date, and they'll give you that date. Mm-hmm. If they don't meet that date, it's repaid no matter what, right? Like it's nullified.
Okay, perfect. Definitely just
So I'm looking into that because
I'm going to try to look into that too. My dad sent me an email. I need to get my application in for the Safe Act thing. Anyway, sorry.
This is Well-Behaved Women.
Yeah,
and that was Tangent Corner.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
It's just, this is the life of
you know what?
millennial.
I think most of the people that listen to this show, the few that actually do, thank you.
Thank you. We see you. We love
do see you on the very few stats that we get. We see you and we appreciate you.
And thanks for putting up with my random singing. Anyway, side note. I do it so often. I even do it at work.
I do it all the time.
Oh, thank God.
I know. I'm the singer at work. It's so dumb.
I'm also the dancer, the random, just always moving to a beat. I'm like that NPC that's just like breathing rhythmically. That's probably me at work.
Oh my God.
Anyway. Sorry.
Anyway, most of the people that we talk to, most of the people that listen to us are probably going through somewhat of the same thing with student loans. So there is information that they should have. Yeah. So that was your public news announcement, I guess.
Yes,
as things are starting to come due and interest are starting to arise. Be sure to put in your applications. Be sure to flood that system so they can't possibly get to all of us at once.
Just want to put a liability in here. We are not financial advice. We are not
still experts. Make plans for your repayments.
Talk to a professional.
Take the steps that you can to see if you are qualified to nullify any of your debts.
I will just say make sure it's a .gov. Is it a .gov website? Mm-hmm. It has to be .gov.
It's studentaid.gov.
Yeah.
They have the applications for all of these reviews and all of these income-driven repayment plans.
And all the information you need.
All of it on studentaid.gov. And I want to say there's a chat function where you can get help, but I am just as in the dark as you guys are. The system is really fucking hard to navigate, so I get why everyone's confused. I have been procrastinating it because I don't want to have to go through all of this shit again.
We're working and then we're tired and I'm trying to do all the research I can, but oh my God, am I exhausted.
All right, so you ready to talk about a woman?
Yes!
Today's subject you have most definitely heard of.
Woo!
If not, are fairly familiar with her story.
Okay.
But it's two stories, as we will get into. The woman was either the most prolific female serial killer of all time.
Whoa.
Or she was the perfect victim to an international conspiracy to remove her from power.
Whoa. She was a powerful woman that people knew of all around the world?
And not around the world, but in her area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but still, she's... Oh, wow. Okay. I'm ready.
Was she a vampire?
What?
Did she do the dirty deed with the devil himself?
Fun.
You decide.
I mean, wouldn't that be a good life?
He is probably so good in bed.
I mean, you're gonna die.
So good in bed.
I would guess. I would guess that might be blasphemous, but I'm
man,
not religious, so
fuck
I
it.
apologize if
Satan
anybody...
is probably really fucking good in bed.
I don't think anybody who's listening... I mean, it's possible if I offended you.
Whatever.
I'm sorry, but that's who I am.
So there's a trigger warning for you and for the listeners. This is going to get really, really graphic.
Okay.
Because it's another true crime week.
I mean, if it's a women's history podcast, how could it not be true crime? In some episodes.
In some episodes.
Okay.
All right. On this year in history. It's not that this part isn't as much fun without B, but
Yeah,
that's
because
okay.
he has this year in history.
On this year in history.
That's good. That's good.
So we're going to begin before the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right off the bat.
News
if you will.
bulletin.
And right off the bat.
I got to get that news, that 24-hour news.
The location,
Okay.
Transylvania, 15 something.
15 something.
I think I meant to actually fill that in with
Girl.
an actual year. Because it is highlighted in red. And then it
15 something. I love how it's highlighted bright red and you're like,
okay, hold on.
I shall hold. I'm waiting for
1560.
Oh, 1560. Okay, so let me put this into my own mental perspective because I always have to put it in terms of English monarchs. Okay, so who in 15? It's like Henry VII.
I don't know.
Or no, we might be in the middle of the War of the Roses. No, Henry VII was around the turn. So we're at Henry VIII. It's right before he dies. I think he's 1565. Let me check myself.
Hold on.
Check me before I wreck me.
1560s in England. The monarch was Elizabeth I.
Oh, I was way off. I was like 3 monarchs ahead of that. My bad. See, I don't know my shit. All right, so we're in Elizabethan times. Got it. So I've got a vague idea of what we're dealing with.
Right.
But what was going on?
The Byzantine-Ottoman conflict.
Okay, I kind of know nothing about that.
All right, so
I know Byzantine is like Catholic, yes?
yeah, hold
And it
on. I
was
think literally I
Eastern
have
Europe.
another note that says go into that.
Go into that.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay. This is when it gets really fun.
Well, and I've done like 3 episodes worth of writing since then.
Yeah.
So
You were like in a zone.
all right, I'm just going to give you the Wikipedia.
Okay.
The Byzantine-Ottoman Wars were a series of decisive conflicts between the Ottoman Turks and the Byzantine Greeks and their allies that led to the final destruction of the Byzantine Empire and the rise of the Ottoman Empire. Byzantines, already having been in a weak state even before the partitioning of their empire following the Fourth Crusade, failed to recover fully under the rule of the Palaiologos dynasty. Palaiologos. Thus, they faced increasingly disastrous defeats against the Ottoman, ultimately losing Constantinople in 1453, formally ending the conflicts. However, several Byzantine holdouts lasted until 1479. So
it's Istanbul, not Constantinople?
now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople.
When in Istanbul... Wait. Ah, man, I lost
So if you have a date
in Istanbul...
if you have a date, a girl waiting in Constantinople,
she'll be waiting in Istanbul. All right, we got there. I love that song.
Istanbul. And then
And then there'd be like these crazy sounds. Anyway.
I know it's Istanbul.
Constantinople. No, it's
Istanbul. Constantinople. Istanbul.
Right. Damn it.
Why did Constantinople get the works?
That's nobody's business but the Turks. Anyway. We're on some weird energy and it's
Woo!
I
All
like
right.
it.
So during this conflict, people
Yes.
at every level became super desensitized to various forms of extreme violence.
Oh shit.
And torture at a master-servant level and a military conflict level were both fairly common.
Ooh, torture?
Yeah, like just smacking people around, like
Full on abuse.
There's like a thing with thumbs. It's a whole
Don't mess with thumbs.
So, On the household level, it was the usual domestic abuses, a smack here, there, everywhere. Screaming, hitting servants when they messed up. Just full-on toddler tantrums, but for full fucking grown-ups who should absolutely know better than to scratch someone until they bleed.
I hate
I told you.
I know.
Trigger warning, guys.
That's good, but like, damn, man. It's just imagining that as daily life.
Daily life.
Daily life. No.
Yep.
Anyway.
Oof. So the Habsburgs basically ruled the area.
Habsburgs.
You know that name.
I do know this name. I also know that name as, what was it? Charles with the big ass chin.
Yes.
And a big ass incest.
Charles with the big ass chin. Yes.
Yeah, that guy. I'm just remembering, I know a very specific picture.
Yes, I know exactly the picture because the chin goes out forever
now,
and then it's got the balls.
Did that have anything to do with Charles, Holy Roman Emperor of Spain? Was he a Habsburg or was that a different line of incest?
The Habsburgs basically ruled the area.
Yeah.
They were the Holy Roman Emperor family.
Aha. Okay.
Super fucking famous. Rulers of Austria and their most powerful growth spurt to date. They were at
growth spurt.
Almost the height of their power.
Don't say growth spurt.
Spurt.
Ew.
Growth spurt.
Fuck off.
They're growing.
Ew.
They're growing.
Louder, ma'am.
Spurt.
No.
The Bathory family divided on how to proceed with the winning side because there's the Holy Roman Emperor and then there's the other people. Basically, the whole clan splits. Okay. One side of it supports one side of the conflict. Mm-hmm. The other side supports the other side, obviously.
Shit.
Both parents were barons.
Baron is royal title.
Yes.
Okay. Now, at what level is a baron? Like brother of a king? What's brother of a king? Duke? No. Tell me more. I don't know anything.
I don't know.
Shit.
I don't know any of the I don't know any of the royal kind of lineage orders, and I think they change according to like what country you're in.
Right. They're different per country. So if anybody knows, we would love to learn more. So feel free to either shout us out.
Well, so the girl we're talking about, her name is Elizabeth. Okay. Her uncle was the voivode of Transylvania, which is like the highest level official that you can be in the country. Okay. So her family was super important, super influential, super high up in
super loaded.
Yes. The clans have been kind of separated for a while. They've been doing their own things for years, and both parents basically they're from differing clans. So
it like a Romeo Juliet kind
of? A little bit, but
no
they
love story.
don't die at the end.
Is there a love story?
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, so yeah, George Bathory from this clan and Anne from this clan, they get married.
Oh, scandalous.
Yeah, we're not like a Jamie Cersei level of incest. We're more like just kissing cousins.
Ew.
Yeah, distant ones, like third ones.
But at the
ones.
time, not unusual.
Yes, in consanguineous fashion for the time, they had Elizabeth, and from a young
consanguineous. What's this one?
Consanguineous is the like marriage and fucking of cousins.
Ah, okay, that's my first time ever hearing this word, and I do not like that. That's the definition.
Co-blood.
Okay.
Together.
Ew. Ah. Oh. Okay. Thank you. Sorry. Back to the sentence you were saying.
You're fine. They had Elizabeth, and from a young age, she must have been absolutely super aware of the differences between her family and the servant class that served them.
I see.
Just very, very aware of who is in charge and who is definitely not in charge.
It was, yeah, I guess I remember Elizabethan times, you're dealing with, I don't know if it's, We're in Transylvania, though. I don't know if Elizabethan times, but
It doesn't actually matter over there. It's Holy
Okay.
Roman Emperor territory and Ottoman Emperor territory.
I see.
And this is very close post-war, and there are still little fights here and there and uprisings and little quarrels over pieces of territory. So
Okay.
there's still like very much in conflict, and there's still violence around her all the time.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's born into one of the most influential and important families in all of Transylvania, and politically, the land has been in a form of struggle for decades.
Ugh,
Like,
established struggle.
yes, an established struggle that she is born into. And from a very young age, she suffered from seizures.
Oh, that's rough in those times. 'cause
Yes.
What did they even think that was?
Well, so now we think it was from epilepsy, but apparently ran in the Bathory family.
Okay. Well, genetics dwindling down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was just showing as a weird physical thing that happens, and it fucks her up for a bit, and then she gets better. Yeah.
So she just had to kind of go through it. All right.
Oh, that's her ailment. She'll be fine.
She's just bewitched, but she'll get through it. She's a strong girl.
She's a strong, bewitched girl. So, and they hit it. Like, they really, just like, there was probably a small cadre of people that, like, served to take care of her and, like, knew what to do when that happened.
Yeah, 'cause
and then they just didn't talk about it outside of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it just hit me that they probably wouldn't even let it out because she's so influential in that family. She's born into an influential family. She's already kind of a target.
Yeah.
Everybody is aware of her. She has a reputation essentially that you need to protect.
Yes.
Okay. Rough.
At a very young age, Elizabeth witnessed executions being carried out.
That can't be good for you.
No.
That cannot be easy to see.
Or-
Although if it's normalized.
So how about this? When Elizabeth was 10, she got herself a dearly betrothed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked, but I still hate that for her.
So the Bathory family was super influential for the time, and the connecting with that family pretty much meant that, like, you as a family had made it in the upper class.
Okay.
The only thing better was the Habsburgs, depending on who you asked. Like, not quite everyone would agree on that.
If you ask me, no. Don't link your genetics to that family.
I mean, but it was like, that was, again, in fashion at the time. You marry inside of your family to keep it good. I don't know. So her fiance was named Ferenc Nadasdy. If I pronounce these names wrong, I'm sorry. I've heard them pronounced many ways. I'm trying. So Elizabeth Bathory and Ferenc Nadasdy.
If you say that, anyway.
So Ferenc was 15 at the time. Elizabeth could read and write in her native language, and she could speak in 4 more.
Okay.
He was
Excellent.
just Ken.
He was just Ken.
He was just Ken. Ferenc could barely read or write.
10.
Yep.
Sorry.
All she sees is a 10.
Yeah?
Ferenc could barely read or write in his native tongue and knew just enough Greek and Latin to get by on the battlefield. Of course, he was a soldier already.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's how old again? 15?
I think he joins the military maybe later, but, like, that's...
Expected of him?
I guess it's expected of him, yeah. So as was tradition, Elizabeth was actually invited to the castle home of her beloved to live with her new family and get to know Ferenc. Like,
Yeah.
all right, we're gonna get married in a few years. Let's get to know each other.
Yeah. Get used to England, or not England, but, like, I'm so used to the Tudor history.
This is in Hungary and
Hungary.
Transylvania.
So get used to the land, get used to the people.
Yep.
And get them to know you.
Yeah.
And then we will make you queen.
So she lived with her future in-laws for 5 years, and during this time there existed a rumor that she got pregnant by a lower-class man.
Rude.
Whether that was a consensual situation or not, it is never ever discussed, but the story goes that she gives birth, the family pays a woman a bunch of money to take the baby away from northern Romania, and away to northern Romania, and Ferenc has the baby daddy castrated and torn to pieces by dogs.
Ouch. Oh, by dogs. And you're alive, I assume.
Yeah.
I would be walking on lots of eggshells at all time.
Yeah.
I do not want to even see, I hate that. You're living on that level of fear
That's
on a
love?
daily basis. No, it's bitch. That's love, wench. I don't know if they said wench. I don't know the language that they're speaking.
Wench would not have been
No, that's an English
appropriate term at this point, yeah.
No, but harlot, Jezebel.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, but no, he wasn't blaming her. He had the bad daddy torn to pieces.
No, I know.
Right. So
By dogs.
by dogs. By the dogs.
By the dogs.
By the dogs. So
I
after
believe he got ripped apart by dogs. I can't. What the hell was that? Are we recording?
I just can't believe that he got ripped apart by dogs.
Yeah, no, I'm still working on the accents, people. Eventually,
I don't know what that accent was. It was something real dumb, but let's do it.
know.
I don't know a Hungarian accent. So I'm just going to go ahead and pretend that it was somewhat of a Jersey accent and then kind of go from there.
All right,
Maybe.
I'll do my best.
I got nothing. Anyway, this couple married in 1575. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Ference took her last name.
I wonder why.
I will tell you why.
Okay, was it strategic or was he like actually in love with her and was like weirdly progressive?
So the Nindazdi family was well known in the area, but it was an advantageous marriage. Mm-hmm. And so and the Bathory name was much better known than the Nindazdi name. So having that union was a good thing. Having his name become hers was the prestige. The prestige. Yeah. Nindazdi's wedding gift to Bathory was his household, the castle of Szegety. Ooh, I can't do it.
Highlight the word. I'll
Csejete. Csejte.
All right, this is for the giggles because I'm an American who is ignorant of any language
America.
other than
Where
English
we
and maybe a
can't
little
pronounce
Spanish.
other languages' words.
Szegety. I don't know.
Szegety. You know what? That sounds better. Szegety. I don't know.
I'm going to say Szegety. That's my guess. You know what? You probably can get like a pronunciation if you highlight it. Oh, sorry. I just hit the mic with my knuckles.
Let's see. You know what? We can Google how to
Yeah,
pronounce.
Google I'm sure has a pronunciation.
Chete.
Chete. Okay.
Chete. Okay.
Chete.
And that is spelled Csejte.
Chete.
At least in an English translation, it's spelled that way.
Chete.
Chete.
All right. So,
Castle of Chete.
the castle of Chete.
I like how that sounds.
It's situated in the Little Carpathians near Vag Ujli. We're going to be here all day. Oh,
Well-
fuck. These names are so hard.
How about this? At the end, we could always... You can cut this out, by the way, for editing purposes. At the end, I could probably try to do some recordings, and you could edit them in, or we could take the time to...
I don't give a shit. That's
Okay.
the thing. I don't give a shit. I love telling you guys the stories, but there are so many words that I'm probably just not going to be able to pronounce. Like, my tongue doesn't work that way.
That's cool.
I am going to do my best.
That's fine.
But when I inevitably fail, no matter what, just don't come at me, okay?
I will have the spellings of all locations and proper nouns.
There you go.
And I will put them in the description, and then I'll also link you to a Google Translate that I use.
Sure, that sounds fantastic.
Because that's just Google Translate. Why did I say
Usually
Google
it's
Translate
like,
I would
well,
use?
that one's a little tricky because usually it's like an AI that just kind of gives like the pronunciation. We did this a few weeks ago. There was a woman we were starting to mispronounce her name, and so we checked it.
Shakuntala?
Something like that.
I swear to God,
Shakuntala versus Shakuntala.
Yeah.
And then
Shakuntala, which I don't know what that is.
yeah, and then there was when I was writing the she episodes,
It's a she.
I saw it as she, and when I first asked Google, that was the first thing that they said was Sishi.
I see.
And so you had to actually go to like the second or third source to be like, okay,
Yeah.
no, this is actually a little more correct. So,
Right.
Sushi.
I'll find the most reputable source that I can with the tools at my disposal. But if anybody does know a native speaker, maybe, that has a native pronunciation,
Go for it. Tweet
Yeah.
us.
Tweet us,
Thread
email
us. Instagram us. Tell us
Thread.
what we did wrong.
Yeah,
That's
DM us.
fantastic. So it's situated in the Little Carpathians now near Vaj Ugeli and Trenksen. Sorry, guys.
Slovakia. It's in Slovakia.
Yeah, it's in Trenčín of Slovakia. So the castle had been bought by his mother in 1569, and it was given to Nadazdi, who transferred it to Elizabeth during their nuptials, together with the Chaitha country home and 17 adjacent villages. Mm-hmm. The couple still did live with Ferentz's family in Sarvar, which is about 230 kilometers or 143 miles away from that castle. Mm-hmm. During this time, Ferenc was serving in the military, and for years he was on different campaigns fighting his way through the Ottoman-Hungarian wars.
So he was going to... Was he leading these campaigns?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
like a commander of some sort.
So would he at this time would be on the battlefield with his troops?
Yeah, like commanding, strategizing, figuring out the next
Okay,
move,
very
that
involved.
kind of thing. Yes, very, very involved.
In the violence.
In the violence and in the fighting.
Every day.
Quote, the Nadazdi Bathory family was now one of the most powerful in Hungary at the time. Ferenc Nadazdi loved war. He rightfully earned the nickname the Black Knight of Hungary during the Long War due to his ruthlessness and cruelty. It is said that he was very creative when torturing his enemies and enjoyed playing catch with their heads.
Oh, and she's married to this man.
Yes. He sent war treasures to his wife, which increased the couple's wealth enormously.
I'm going to call it now. She's a scapegoat for her husband who's a serial killer. That's my guess right now with the information you just gave me.
She's the scapegoat, he's the serial killer. And she's going to get blamed for all of his shit. That's what you think?
That's my guess.
That's your guess. Okay, we're locking it in.
I'm locking in.
First guess of the day.
I didn't even want to phone a friend. It's
That's fine. First guess of the day, we're locking it in.
All right. Dun, 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 dun. Never mind. Sorry.
Yes, so he was very creative when torturing his enemies and enjoyed playing catch with their heads. He sent war treasures to his wife, which increased the couple's wealth enormously. So much so that when the Habsburg reigning family at the time were running out of money, the Nadazdi Bathory family loaned them money so Hungary could keep fighting the Ottomans.
Oh, this is Game of Thrones shit.
End quote.
End quote.
yeah,
This is some Game of Thrones shit. End quote.
Before
I didn't even know we were quoting.
Sorry, that whole paragraph.
Yes.
So I have these scripts and they're all quoted. I'm sorry, I'm not immediately giving
That's
them
okay,
sources
sorry.
the whole time.
My bad.
But I do have all of the sources available when we release the things.
Yeah, we're going to be putting our resources
on our website.
On our website, yes.
You can have the script or whatever.
I think I'll also put it in the description as well,
Yeah.
in case anybody doesn't want to go straight to the website, because you can just get it right there.
Yes.
Woo!
So we worked through hundreds of years of rumors, building on rumors. Elizabeth was either chaste as a nun while she waited for her dear husband's return.
Dear husband.
Dear husband. Or she was introduced by her dear old Auntie Clara to some good old-fashioned giant orgies.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Whoa, wait a minute. What side of the family is she on?
Getting her freak on with countless people while Ferenc was gone. Both in the family and out of the family, I guess, because, her aunt was the one that introduced her to it, so... Ugh.
So it could be the same... Damn. Oh, my God. It's not his mother, right?
They're not cousins.
They're not cousins.
They're not related. Elizabeth's parents were cousins.
Okay.
Very, very distant cousins.
That's what we're... Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Elizabeth's auntie, Clara, I think she's also a Bathory, she... apparently introduced her to giant orgies.
How? What? This is... I'm just kind of curious how this all came up between aunt and niece.
I have no idea, but I would imagine that it was like,
Your husband sucks. Let me introduce you.
or like,
To this
hey,
fun new hobby
you're
I
hearing
have."
some noises coming from this room. It's all of us getting our freak on. You want to join? And Elizabeth going, yes, I've already seen beheadings, so I'm traumatized for my entire fucking
How old
life.
was Elizabeth?
Why don't I join in? I don't think they didn't get married until she was 15.
But still.
That's still young. I mean, I don't
know how... even if you're
Yeah.
in your early 20s, I mean... Do you?
Giant orgies.
Do you?
You're usually too young for giant orgies.
I mean, look.
That's just a very...
At this time, women weren't even... No, actually... I don't know. I'm trying to think. There's two trains of thought I have about the 1560s time frame in terms of female sexuality.
Go ahead.
One thing I learned was during these times, if you wanted to get pregnant, the woman's pleasure was like necessary for her to get pregnant. That was, I think, what I learned. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. But I thought at one point in time that was something very strange I learned that was kind of like female empowerment, but I don't know
where that was known.
At least in England.
The woman apparently doesn't have to come to be able to get pregnant in most histories.
Again, so much of my history knowledge up to this point has been solely focused on the English, because I find it very fascinating. My mom introduced me to the concept of, England history and stuff when I was younger. So I don't know if it's the same type of mindset for the Eastern European. I doubt it. Yeah. So maybe her aunt was like, look, you're married to a guy who sucks. I don't know, with what? She's like, he's gone. And maybe you can
he's gone. Why don't you fuck around?
Exactly.
That's the whole
Have
point.
some fun, girl.
He's gone. Let's get your freak on.
I hope that's how that
I don't
came
even
about.
think it was he sucks. It's he's gone.
Yeah.
Have some fun.
Either that or let's go for funsies, sex cult.
Right.
But like women enjoy themselves, hopefully.
Yes.
All right.
So
anyway.
every so often, Ferenc was home. He came home and he would visit her, and obviously they would fuck. So when he was home, Ferenc taught Elizabeth the things that he learned on the battlefield, and they both got super into torture play as a sick and twisted kind of kink.
Well, if they're both consenting to it, that'd be great.
Okay,
but
no, hold on. All right. According to a couple different versions, Ferenc doused a servant girl in honey.
Oh, no.
And they both watched ants eat it off of her as she screamed in pain and terror. And the whole time, Elizabeth was giggling like a mad woman.
Okay. Well, what are the other sources?
We'll get into those. Okay. We're getting into a certain version of her story.
For now, calling it source A in my mind.
Yes.
Okay. Of how many sources? 3?
Like 7,
okay.
8, 9.
Yeah, okay, so let's go with A.
This is like a few sources in that every time it is mentioned, it is like this is one story that is told.
Okay.
It's literally like that's how it's explained, as well as this is one version of the story.
Okay. All right, so source A has her giggling like a maniacal little bitchy bitch.
Yes.
Bitchity bitch.
Bitchity bitch. Another quote. It should not come as a surprise that while the Black Knight of Hungary was just as vicious at home as he was at war.
Oh, no.
And his wife shared the same sentiment. She was in charge of a huge amount of pheasants.
Pheasants? The birds?
Nope, not pheasants. She was in charge of a huge amount of peasants.
No, I was bad enough with birds. Now you're bringing people into...
Well, so punishment was a daily chore for all of them.
Oh.
They encouraged each other's violence, and they shared new creative ways to torture their subordinates / enemies. Servant girls were dying constantly in the Bathory household. But it was nothing out of the ordinary. At the time, peasants were completely disposable, and the law protected the nobles abusing them.
Are these the peasants living in their own kingdom and domain?
Mm-hmm.
So, oh God. So they're just like pulling them out of their homes?
Yeah.
Oh God.
However, it was not just her aristocratic birth that protected Countess Bathory. The King of Hungary himself owed them money. Erzsébet was untouchable, so she could do as she pleased in her castle. I have been using Erzsébet, Elsebet, Elizabeth, interchangeably. All of these are
Elizabeth's
different.
The name I know.
All of these are
Bathory, I forgot.
interchangeable because they're all different languages. So I am going to...
May I use her nickname for a second?
What is it?
The Blood Countess?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, so I know her. Yes. Okay.
You know her. You know the story.
Of the story, yes.
Of the story.
Of the story.
You know of the story.
All right.
Actually, how much do you know?
I really just know of the...
Do you know the overarching...
serial killer story, part of the story. I don't really know anything about her defense. Or I don't remember learning it.
Okay.
Because the story is so brutal.
All right. So here's the thing we have to think about as we hear the stories that we're about to hear. At the time, Transylvania was such a small and very integrated community that if you had a chicken stolen from you, you could write a letter of complaint to get the problem solved. Like, hey... Bobody over there.
Bobody.
Sorry.
Is that a Transylvanian?
No, it's
name?
not. I don't know. Michael over there, he stole my chicken, and you can write to like the palace. Yeah, sure. Mikhail stole my chicken, and then you can write to the castle, and they'll be like, all right, Mikhail, you gotta give it back.
Okay.
And, they deal with it. So it's a very, very small and very close-knit community at the time. There are 0 records of any letters of complaint against Elsebet from the people that were living in the area.
Okay.
We don't know if they existed but then got destroyed. We don't know if the servant class basically saw it as like a normal thing that, just nothing to write home about. Like maybe it was just like part of daily life. We don't know. In 1585, Ferenc came home and they had a daughter named Anna. In 1590,
Does she like yogurt?
What?
Anna likes yogurt. Sorry, that's a little callback to a conversation we had earlier during the intermission.
Oh my god. I made a very stupid Brooklyn Nine-Nine reference because Hannah was eating some yogurt, obviously. And neither she nor the wonderful Bailey, who was here working on the home, understood
Helping
what I
fix
was talking about. They were both thinking of other Terrys. When I said as Terry always
I
says.
thought it was Bailey's boss, who was
they both
that shares that name.
Were like, that's a weird thing to say. Because I've never met this woman before, and
or coworker. I don't know if she's a boss.
It really did not land, but the laughing at the miscommunication was a lot funnier.
I had a very just buffering moment trying to go through my mental pop culture Rolodex for anything in reference to yogurt.
Yeah, neither of them have ever seen the Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And if you've seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you know Terry loves yogurt. Terry loves yogurt. He does. It's very stupid. Anyway, yes, Anna loves yogurt. Yes.
I should have said Activia. It's the only other reference I can think of. Jamie Lee Curtis, is that what you meant to say?
We are devolving.
Sorry. Okay. All right. Hungry.
They come home. Ferris comes home. They get to fucking. They get to fucking. They get to have.
He's home during.
So he's home. He comes home, and so they have a daughter. Then they have Anna. Anna loves yogurt. Mm-hmm. In 1590, they have Orsola, Cataline in 1594, Andres in 1596, and Paul in 1598. 2 of her children died as infants, and only 2 lived to adulthood. Andres lived until he was like 7.
Okay, only to 7.
Yeah. I mean, back in those days, like 2 out of 5, still pretty good ratio of kids to survive. Elsebet recruited girls in town from the servant class to come live with her in a gymnasium which was the female living quarters of the castle. It was
Okay.
literally a thing for a long time that when you got married and moved in with your husband, you didn't actually, and this was accurate in England as well.
Okay.
So you moved in with your husband, you didn't actually get to spend time with your husband in the house. You existed in the gymnasium, which was a place free of men where women could interact freely. Girls could learn womanly skills and do womanly chores in peace.
Right.
They could basically spend their days there.
Yeah.
And if the company was over, that was also a thing. Like the women folk
Yeah.
would have their area to hang out while the men folk talked.
Yeah, we were allowed our privacy.
Yeah. And the genders
Weirdly-
separated. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Not the same anymore.
But that, yeah, we see movies about like when men retire to their quarters and they have their cigars and their brandy and then they talk in big business and all that shit.
They
like,
laugh
where do
with
the
all
women-
their money and all of their success.
They blow their noses with $100 bills. Yeah. Well, where do the women
silk.
go? They go to the gymnasium.
Okay.
So over time, some of the servant girls stopped coming home, and according to the tale, she eventually ran through all of the girls in the local town.
They all just started dying?
They just stopped coming home.
Oh. I'm inferring.
Yes. According to one tale, Elizabeth had this clawed glove that she would wear that would drag blood, that would draw blood as she hit her servants with it.
I just had a pop culture epiphany.
American Horror Story?
Yes.
Yeah, that clawed thing?
Yes.
Absolutely.
And it's fabulous.
And it would draw blood as she would scrape it across the face, like across the bodies of her servants.
This is still part of the story, yes? This is still source A. Still source A. Right? We're still working on the one source that we're...
This is a couple different. When I do this, there's like
I'm sorry.
a bunch of different sources, and so it's a lot of like maybe this is a tale that came in 4 different places, and then this other thing is a tale that came in 3 different places, but it came in 3 different other places than the other 4 places.
Right, so it's all kind of the story
It's
over
a mishmash
time.
of sources because I'm trying to get as dynamic of a picture of her life as we can.
Okay.
So it's a conglomeration of all the sources.
Okay, yeah. So there's no real understanding of which source is true.
These are all tales that
Yeah.
have been told.
Okay, cool.
Because this literally was happening in the 1500s, so
Yeah,
it's
so-
kind of limited.
Right. All right.
It is kind of, I mean, honestly, it is kind of a fabulous move. Like,
Yeah.
it's very, very gory.
I like the drama. But
It's very gory, and it's
Please.
very, what is it, macabre?
yes, I
But
just
it's
don't like the violence.
Super dramatic.
Ma'am, just no violence, please. I just don't want the violence, but I want the
It
glove.
comes with the glove. The
No.
violence is part of... Because you don't get the full effect of all of the things that glitter unless the blood is dripping through the joints.
Stop!
Okay?
I love the imagery, but not the action.
Right? Is crazy.
I'm sorry, I blew out speakers again. I am dangerous. Keep me at a low volume.
All right.
Maybe
So-
we should give a little volume trigger as well. Volume
That's
alert.
whatever. It doesn't matter.
All right.
If they don't know by now, they have
know.
never. They're never going to learn their lesson. So let's step back for a second and talk about Transylvania. Its direct translation is land beyond the trees or the forest, and this land has long been really strategically important, and especially in the Hungarian Ottoman thing, it was like right along a passageway of like a trade route or something.
Like a gateway.
Not quite a gateway, but literally it was just like strategically placed where
Is it-
if someone had control of that area, they could control kind of the rest of the valley if they
So
wanted to.
when you say it's land beyond the trees, is that like it's in a clearing between forests?
The land, okay, I guess.
Sorry, I'm going for
I guess
literal
Hungary has a lot of forests, and so Transylvania is like the land beyond the forest. So I don't know.
Okay.
I guess I don't know.
I
Maybe
might be
it's
reading too
plains,
much
maybe
into
it's
it.
something. I don't
Maybe
know.
it just
That's just the
sounded nice.
translation is the land beyond the trees.
Sorry, I just talked over you. Maybe it just sounds nice.
Yeah, it probably does. It does. Transylvania.
Land beyond the trees. Sorry.
All right, so King goddamn Matthias. This motherfucker.
Matthias.
All right, Matthias.
Cool name, bad guy.
Cool name, bad guy. Matthias was the 4th son of Maximilian II, Holy Roman Goddamn Emperor.
Oh, Big Daddy.
Big Daddy, middle child.
Oh.
And he's also the son of Maria of Spain. That's the mom.
Okay.
So aside from 3 brothers, he also had 6 sisters.
Lot of
kids.
kids.
Yes. When you're a part of ultra royalty, most of the time you just get to rule places. They literally will just give you land to rule. The daughters married well, and the first 3 sons had their own various levels of lesser power, but power nonetheless in the territory that their father ultimately owned.
Okay.
Have you watched The Righteous Gemstones yet?
I have not caught up to. I'm restarting it.
It's good, but the premise is kind of like that, where like, Big Daddy has the power. And then the kids are kind of sharing like the lesser of
like the
department.
departments.
Yeah, they're departmentally in charge. Regional managers. They're regional managers
of their specific territories. So
yes,
the particular title comes with particular land. England does that too, I guess. Here we go. But Hannah goes back to England because England is. I gotta stop talking about England, man.
I mean, it is fascinating. It's a fascinating story.
It's really a monarchy system does that.
So there's a fair bit of competition for leadership opportunities. Matthias tried to be governor of the Netherlands, and the actual leaders of the Netherlands were like, "No,
how close
we're
is
good."
Transylvania to the Netherlands?
Here, I'll show you on a map.
I was going to say, it doesn't sound to me, unless I'm just completely thinking of a different area, but isn't the Netherlands on the western side of Europe? Oh my god, am I going to show how bad I am at geography? Because...
Transylvania is part of Romania.
Okay, so
maybe? I don't know. Hold on.
Slovakia, I thought
is a region in central Romania, right?
As of today.
Yes.
At what?
So...
Let me see.
Romania is sitting right here.
Wrong.
Let me tilt the screen.
Okay.
All right. So Romania sits right here. Hungary is over here. Slovakia is a little bit above that.
For the listeners
Ukraine.
at home who aren't good at geography as well as I am not good at geography or English right now, Romania is right above Bulgaria and southeast of Ukraine. Hungary is
southwest of Ukraine.
And northwest of Romania, and
Hungary,
Slovakia is right above Hungary.
Yeah.
It's close to Istanbul.
Not Constantinople.
We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry for the geography lesson, but I really needed it.
Right, and so let me see. The Netherlands
go Romania to the Netherlands, because the Netherlands...
So the Netherlands are, like, way the fuck up here.
They're at least 4 to 5 countries away.
Yeah.
Going northwest from Romania.
Oh, right over here.
Yeah. So it's a straight line northwest.
You have to go through Hungary, Austria, Czechia, Germany.
Yeah.
Czechia. Sorry.
Czechia. And, yeah. Ooh, you could stop by Prague on the way.
Yeah, you could.
I want to go to Prague.
Oh, I do too. All right.
So
now you have a little bit of context as far as like geography.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think, why would he think he has any claim to stuff in the Netherlands? Is it like previously conquered
Again,
land?
this is all Holy Roman Emperor property.
Oh, I'm thinking in terms of today.
No, this is huge. This is like continental, literal continental rulership.
My ADHD strikes again, where I'm like, I keep forgetting we're talking about 1590s almost now?
Yep.
Yeah.
There were fewer people to rule. There was a lot more land
It was a big, vast area. So that makes sense. It was one of the departments at the time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for going to that level with me.
So they were just, we don't want you to do that. Mm-hmm. So then he tried to get elected as a bishop. That didn't work too well.
God, they don't like him.
Then he tried to gain the title of king for succession of King Stephen Bathory, but that didn't turn out either. Mm-hmm. Then he tried for the regency in Tyrol and Austria. He finally got governance of Austria after his brother got governorship of the Netherlands.
Oh!
It all comes back around.
I see. So the brother gets the promotion,
The promotion
he
he
originally
really
wanted.
wanted. Yeah.
Which I'm wondering why. Is it because it's a port?
Probably because the brother
County.
was better suited to actually...
No, I'm thinking why he originally... Stephen originally wanted it. So
I would assume
what
it
makes
was...
it so valuable?
I don't know. I would assume there's ports there, and it's a shipping area.
So they're probably like, you're not ready for this yet, but your brother...
But your brother, yeah.
And so you can take his old place, we'll see how you do, and then eventually when your brother dies, because he's older than you...
Then we'll think about it.
Then we'll think about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wait for your brother to die.
So the Protestants aren't really happy about the taxes and the war outcomes and the unrepresentative leadership in the area.
Well, yeah. You're in Catholic territory.
Yeah.
They don't like you.
Yeah, literally.
They call you heretics.
So they rebelled.
Mm-hmm. Of course you did.
Of course you do. It was the poor Protestant rebellion, and Matthias quelled it with mercenary troops.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, just killed them all.
No, they don't get a chance to have peaceful protests, I guess.
No. So after this, Matthias is really on this like anti-Reformation kick. In 1602,
Fuck you guys.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
I'm tired of listening to you, bitch. I gave you one mercenary troop.
I'll give you another.
I was gonna say, I'll make it 3.
Don't make me send another mercenary troop to kill you all.
How, did he even save women and children, or did he...
No, I think he like tried. It was like you gotta squash
Genocide?
everyone. I don't
genocide. What's the word for that?
Yeah, genocide.
Oh, it's genocide. Okay.
I don't know. I think it was like probably the soldiers first, and then like made sure that like, okay, the women and children, you fucking know that you can't do this. I don't know. I don't know how rules worked back then.
I guess that's true. We may never know.
I don't think they had the Geneva Convention, so I think they probably just killed them all. It was like, fuck it,
that's
just burn the whole
right.
city down.
How far away are we from the Geneva
know.
Convention? That's
Hundreds of years.
Yeah, I knew it was more recent, but I was hoping like maybe they were thinking about it then.
We're literally talking about like a world in which one of the commanders that is very good at his job comes home and covers like servant girls in honey and just watches ants eat them off her.
I'm just
like it's playing soccer with their heads, like horrible.
I forgot
shit.
he was playing soccer.
Yeah,
with their
he played
heads.
ball with the heads. Yeah,
football with the heads.
It was crazy.
Oh God, that I did hear that story of him.
Yeah,
I knew there was some sort of artwork somewhere where they're playing.
That's bad.
Yeah. Oh God.
So in 1602, Ferenc starts to really suffer from some of his extensive war injuries. Again, like he was actually on the battlefield for a long time. And he began to have issues with his legs. Nobody really knew what it was.
Karma. So he can't kick
it's
heads
karmic
anymore.
retribution for his legs. And so
he kicked heads.
So he had karmic ailment for 2 years. And then he died on on the battlefield in 16. He literally didn't let it keep him from doing his job. He died on the battlefield in 1604.
Well, that's what you
He
get.
still was a soldier.
He was still trying to kill
end.
people. So the universe or the gods or whoever was just kind of like, all right, you're not getting the picture here. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Bye.
Later.
It is said that after Ferenc's death, Elsabet really picked up the level of torture and killing. She upped the ante.
Who said this again? Don't.
It
tell
is
me.
said.
That's
I don't know. It's again. It's sources.
Yeah,
sources
true.
say.
No, I know. I meant to say that. What's that? What you ask a question, but you don't need an answer. Rhetorical.
Rhetorical question. Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, I'm just thinking like, I'm holding on to I'm clutching my optimism hat. Okay, I am going to hope she's.
This is where it gets bad, Hannah.
I'm just gonna hold it, clutch it tighter. That sounds really weird.
So, where once she had waited for servants to come and to her voluntarily, some people must have been actually catching on.
I had a feeling.
They stopped coming themselves, so she would kidnap them and take them to the castle.
How would she kidnap them? I guess she'd just order people
Just
to...
literally, like, take them out of the field, have someone go out and be
hoping-
like, collect me some children, some little girls
With
for the
one
day.
pointed glove.
Yes. I need 30 girls.
30 girls. God.
So do you know why she collected the little girls? The younger ones?
Yeah, freaking youth. She's going for youth. She wants to steal their youth so she can stay beautiful and young as long as possible.
It's a bloodbath.
Oh yeah, she did it bath
She
style.
would drain their blood into a tub and then bathe in the youngun's blood to keep her nice and young and looking fresh.
Looking
Fresh as all hell.
God, see, just do it, come on, man. Haven't you heard tales by this point, lady, of like, I'm just flustered with the fact that she's like, ugh, no, stop. Little girls, leave them alone. They have dreams.
No, they don't. They have blood. They have tiny little girl.
Think of their
valuable, skin refreshing blood.
No.
That's what they have.
No.
That's what they have.
No.
That's what they
No.
have. Yes.
Shilling.
That's the fresh
I'm
type.
blocking you out with my
Fresh. Subway eat fresh.
Bathe fresh. Lush. Not Lush.
Bathe fresh.
This is a
Bathory.
joke.
Bathe fresh.
Yeah, Bathory. Not Lush. Bathory. Bathe fresh.
Boom.
So she has
Done.
bath artists. Blood artists.
Blood.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining.
I'm literally clutching my stomach right now.
You mentioned
Because
Lush. I'm just imagining like the bath bombs, but that are blood bombs.
they dehydrated the
blood
blood,
bath
mixed it
bombs?
with salt, and
Yes.
dropped it.
You drop it in, and all of a sudden it's like a refresh blood bath with some essential oils mixed in.
Oh,
you
no.
know,
No. They probably did
And
do
the salts
essential oil. They
to
probably
refresh.
did do essential oils to make it smell better.
this is so gross.
This is so gross
This
and
is so gross.
honestly quite physically horrific for me right now. I'm
Are
just,
you okay?
I'm fine, but I am still clutching my stomach.
It's horrible.
I will
I'm
not let
sorry.
go. I feel so vulnerable just talking about it.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I'm fine. I listen to true crime all day while making coffee. Like, I'm fine. But just like these poor girls, and then I hope their ghosts did not see any of this.
Well, you don't think she killed them right away, do you? Oh. Probably had some fun with them first.
No, it's not fun. Don't do that. Don't do this little like shrug, smug shrug.
So once she worked her way,
Shrug.
the shrug.
Yeah, it is shrug.
Don't do the shrug.
smug shrug.
The smug shrug. Once she worked her way through all the little girls in town, she brought girls in from the gentry class, which is higher than the peasants.
Oh fuck, she's going. Oh no.
Yeah, this is a bad move.
I hate to compare it to this, but she's going through the town like I go through Mario Kart. Let me explain.
Please do. Oh my god, where is this going?
Like, it's like a tier list. It's like I have to go through the shitty tier of like the 50cc, and then you go to the 100cc, the gentry. Then you go to the 150cc.
Which is like low nobility.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
wait. I think
Lower class nobility.
Do they? I can't remember. I haven't played a lot of the
I don't
new
know.
ones. But like, yeah, basically the slower the carts are,
They matter.
my Ford Fiesta, if it were in Mario Kart, and then tier up is like a Mazda.
Yeah.
And then a tier up is like Mercedes
Yeah.
or like BMW.
And then like a tier up is like a Tesla.
yeah.
Even though
Exactly. I'm going Tesla speeds, whatever the Bugatti speeds is
yeah,
like the top.
yeah.
So, I mean, if anybody for car, these are all Top Gear car references, but I don't know how dated these are.
it doesn't
Maybe
it doesn't
Mazda's
matter.
better than I think it is.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Mazda's good. That's
No.
fine.
I turned this from Mario Kart into actual cars.
We've gone back and forth. Yes,
I'm so
a number
sorry.
of
I go
times.
into the weeds. Bring us back to the main path so I don't get bit.
So she started bringing the gentry in, which was kind of a no-no because now
She's
people
getting
that
it.
actually have a weighted say in social things are starting to notice that their girls are going missing.
Yeah, it's not just, the everyday people. Now we're missing it, starting to get up the ranks
Yeah,
of the
so
it girls.
these little girls would go in, they would get invited to live at the castle and be in the gymnasium with Elizabeth, and basically be able to like go to kind of little girl school. and
Little girls' school.
I think that was kind of it. Was
Blood
too,
bag
was like
school.
there was a certain amount of like training that she was offering was
Etiquette?
like etiquette and cotillion and that kind of shit. It was like, I'll teach them how to be royalty,
Right.
or how to be servant girls, or how to be whatever,
So that I
just to
have
get
access to their they have access to better marrying
education.
stock.
Exactly. You can improve your station.
You know, but then they don't come home.
Blood, drop, blood.
Stacy, can you come
Blood.
over here for a minute?
Blood.
Oh, Emily's just sleeping. Don't worry about her. Can you go get me a drink? No, not that way. Come here.
Yes.
So, question.
Answer.
So, I know the peasants probably don't see her much or know much about her. So when she comes
No,
in,
they knew who she was. Like, they knew her.
I mean, like in terms of who she really is in the story.
So again, sources differ. So some people say like historical records say that there's like no official record this thing, but there's also other sources that are like, yeah, apparently like the locals knew about it. And then there's other sources that are like, yeah, all of this stuff started being accusatory like 100 years after she died. So it goes wildly on all different
So we don't
directions.
really know.
We don't really know.
Do we know if people knew about the glove?
Again, it was one of those like many stories where it could have been started like 100 years after she died.
True.
It could have been like there was a servant that lived.
But no one found a glove. The glove doesn't actually exist.
No.
Damn.
I don't know. Maybe it got destroyed. We don't know.
Okay.
We just don't know.
We just really don't
just
know.
don't
So
know.
everything basically we're saying is allegedly.
Allegedly.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm just going to start adding allegedly to the end of every sentence.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So
Allegedly. I'm sorry, but people need to know. I need to remind myself that this is all allegedly, because I keep getting wrapped up in the story and I want to answer these questions. This would be a fantastic movie.
So the gentry class girls would go. They go to the castle. They live with Elizabeth, and they start writing home. And they're saying they're being treated poorly. They're not being given food. They're getting really cruel treatment by Elizabeth, obviously. So this Lutheran minister decides he wants to go public with what was being quote unquote said about Elizabeth.
Of course.
Istvan Magyari.
I see what this is.
What?
Sorry, continue with his name. I want you to say his whole name first.
Istvan Magyari accused her of torture and murder of girls.
Sorry.
Istvan Magyari accused her of torture and murder of girls both in public and in the Habsburg court in Vienna.
Okay.
He went all the way to Vienna and was like, fuck this bitch in particular.
Lutheran versus Catholic. It starts. I don't know why I whispered that.
Yeah.
No, this
Lutheran
is where
and Catholics,
that's
yeah.
what I was picking up on. He's Lutheran against a a perceived horrible person in power who is Catholic.
Or these girls could have just been little brats and complaining. Like,
True.
maybe it was just like, we don't really have a lot of food, so we've got to kind of be
Bitch about
scarce with it.
something.
Or they were being treated absolutely horrendously and
Yeah.
like getting scratched and beaten and hit and screamed at.
Right.
Maybe.
It just sounds like a lot of propaganda.
So someone went to inspect what was going on, but Elizabeth wouldn't let the investigators look at the girls' bodies, only on their faces, which made her look worse. Like, a lot worse.
Wait, say okay, so
So Elizabeth,
like
the investigators show up, and Elizabeth's like, you can look at their faces, but like, I'm not going to let you undress these little girls.
yeah, no, you can't see how many organs I've taken out and how many things I've done allegedly.
Exactly. Allegedly. Suspicion of her treatment of the girls who mattered, who got all the way to the ears of King Matthias II, who remembered he owed quite a bit of debt to the Nadazdi Bathory family.
Shit.
But if Elizabeth was taken down, his debt would not only be cleared, he'd be able to collect the castle and her land.
Okay. So now he could also try to back up said propaganda and sentence her.
So he sends an investigator who allegedly walked in on a room full of tortured and pained girls in a state of terror. This was what Matthias needed, and he levied charges against her.
You're cute, Sally. Cry a little more. I'm just kidding. I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, aha!
Sally,
Cry a little more. So this looks real.
So Matthias got 300 witnesses to testify against her. Bodies buried in the castle were exhumed and examined for evidence, and there were hundreds of victims of Elizabeth Bathory.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden it's really starting to come out, this alleged story.
Well, now it's like, okay, whoa, there's a lot of bodies here, and like, this is crazy.
Oh,
so
shit.
she had 2 trials, both of which lasted only 1 day. So imagine hundreds of witnesses gutting through shit all in 1 day. This is a long ass day.
Yeah, no, this is everybody going through day. There's a day shift, night shift, I'm assuming.
All right, so in that time, 300 witnesses were able to tell the court about all the worst of the worst tortures imaginable.
Okay.
We're getting into super graphic territory now, so buckle the fuck up.
Holding on to my
butt.
Chair. Ass.
So, she burned the girls with hot irons. She beat them to death with clubs.
Oh, gosh.
She stuck needles under their fingernails.
Oh, no.
She poured ice water over their naked bodies and left them outside to freeze to death in the cold.
Oh, God.
She covered them in honey so bugs could feast on their skin.
Oh, that's a nostalgic one
That's a
for her.
callback from her honeymoon, you know, obviously.
She was feeling nostalgic.
Yeah, it was her anniversary. She was missing her husband. Whatever.
Why? I miss him. Why?
She sewed their lips together.
Oh, God.
She bit off chunks from breasts and faces.
No, ma'am. I mean, I already drew a line, but I'm drawing a much bigger line.
Do you want me to stop?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, I was making that up.
No, it's like, you just give me the safe word and we'll...
No, okay. The safe word is pineapple.
Pineapple, okay.
Okay.
All right, so she bit off chunks from breasts and faces. She bathed in the blood of girls to attempt to keep her youthful appearance.
Why?
And her supposed favorite thing, she had a pair of scissors that she really loved.
Oh, no.
She would use them to mutilate bodies, faces, cutting off hands, noses, and genitals, and would snip the fleshy connection of skin between the victim's fingers.
Maybe she was just really into autopsies.
Okay, but like a pair of scissors to chop off a hand, do you know how many bones are in the fucking wrist?
No.
It is so hard. I mean, I understand like you can pop it off at the joint, but even a pair of scissors to just try and like saw off the flesh slowly of a wrist, that's not fun. That's slow.
I don't think she knew how to just pop at the joint.
I think she got off on taking the time to use those scissors to slice off a wrist.
She's not looking good. If they found, I mean, were they... Okay, I keep asking for the truth, but we'll never know the truth.
They apparently found a lot of bodies, and so they were like, all right, this is corroboration because apparently you had a lot of victims. So she was arrested and tried, and Elizabeth was confined to the tower of her castle. By this time, her 2 adult daughters were said to have come back to the castle and looted it of all the goods and treasures that they wanted.
Yeah.
Mom's in prison in her tower now.
Honestly,
we get the loot.
Honestly, with a mom like that, if you're probably not close to her.
Imagine how being a daughter to that.
Yeah. Well, if you know she's gonna die, because at this point, people found bodies, or if not really, the story's out there and everyone believes it.
Yeah, your name is ruined forever.
You might before they take it, you might as well.
Take it. Yeah, I got you.
So honestly. Get it. Just take it.
Her handmaidens were also arrested. 4 of them tried and convicted for helping her. Their fingers were cut as a form of punishment.
Well, I know. But, like, come on, how much power over Miss Glove Claw? I don't know how much willpower they had in there. But, I mean, okay, at least they didn't die.
She was convicted of killing 88 girls, but may have killed up to 650.
Were there that many women missing?
Well, it takes a lot of tiny bodies to fill a bathtub with a child full of blood, and that shit is only good really, really fresh.
I mean, after like 50 girls got missing at that time.
Bathed fresh.
I keep forgetting bathed fresh.
Come on, bathe fresh.
I know. She doesn't just there's no freezers, so she's got to have these girls on hand at all times. It's just, what a logistical nightmare.
This is a quote from All That's Interesting. Perhaps historians say the true story of Elizabeth Bathory looks more like this.
Okay.
The Countess owned strategically important land that increased her family's already vast wealth. As an intelligent, powerful woman who ruled without a man at her side, and as a member of a family whose wealth intimidated the king, his court went on a mission to discredit and ruin her. Remember, there's like no written records of any complaints of her as being like a leader for a long time.
Right, and she's a woman at this time, and she's really not even supposed to have that kind of power in their eyes, especially Catholic.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, very Orthodox Catholic at these times.
Yeah.
And so it's just very much like we have to make her so hated that we can take that from her and no one's going to stop us.
Exactly.
She has, no love from these peasants, right?
Apparently there was also no hate.
According to the story.
I mean, there was no love, but there was also no recorded hate.
Yeah.
Like, there's tales of the bad stuff, but there's also, like, no evidence written or otherwise of the bad stuff other than this trial. So she was confined to her castle prison for the rest of her life, and about 4 years after her arrest at the age of 54, she told a guard she didn't feel well. She was going to lie down. The next morning, she was found dead.
Oh, well.
She didn't have her blood. She couldn't stay alive.
No. All those stem cells are gone.
Yep.
She had no idea what those were, but...
But maybe she was a pioneer in the stem cell rejuvenation.
No. I'm not going to slap that badge on her. No.
Nah.
She was just either a scapegoat or a horrific
person.
Monster. I'm going to go with scapegoat for me personally.
So that was the end of the Bathory line in pretty much any significant way. It was kind of insane. Her kids were around for a while, but we don't hear much from them ever again. And I think that they kind of knew the way the wind was turning. So they got out before they got nabbed too.
Got you. Now that I'm sitting here kind of just putting it all together, I'm thinking... Because originally I thought her husband did all of this, but I don't think any of this actually happened.
Well, he died before all of that was supposed to have happened.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know that when I guessed.
Yeah.
But now that I think about it, I really doubt that she was bathing in blood. I mean, sure, her husband probably... Are we even sure he tortured people on the field?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He earned the Black Knight of Hungary for a reason.
Okay,
People
so
knew.
that they have evidence of.
Yes.
All right. So then maybe she had nothing to do with it, but because they have evidence, they've levied her. Oh, I keep touching this. I'm so sorry. I keep hitting the table, guys. I'm thinking now, let me collect my thoughts so I can articulate it properly. None of the killings were really happening. Maybe there was some crime and the king could just blame it on her because he could levy her husband's reputation on her. That's, in my mind, from a female perspective, that does make sense.
She was in strategic land. She had command over a lot of girls. I want to say that there was probably at least one plague going around it at the time. And winters were very, very hard.
True.
I'm not going to discredit any of the things that said that she tortured her people. She probably did. She probably was just a bitch.
She was with her husband at a very young age.
Yeah, but she may not have been a murderer.
No.
It may, I mean, these
she could have been
things
just
may
cruel.
have come from a natural death, but she also might be an absolute fucking monster. We just don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. I'm thinking maybe she just, obviously she had to have been somewhat mentally traumatized.
Yeah.
From the context of the country and turmoil, from probably any man in her life. Any man in her life. And it's like she was so young when all of this was happening to her.
It was
and then
so
she
normalized from a very young age.
And then she was risen to extreme prominent power at such a young age as a teenager.
She was endlessly wealthy, could just have anyone at her beck and call for whatever reason.
No one telling her
yeah,
no.
Exactly.
I mean, and so all of that, she could just be a fucking cruel leader.
Yeah.
And was not really... Although, I don't know, you think there would be complaints, but I guess who would they complain to?
And I think maybe that might have been... Maybe that was the reason for their silence, was like, who the fuck are we going to say... Who are we going to complain to? Who's going to come and correct this?
Exactly. We'll never know. Again, basically, looking back, every sentence has the word allegedly at the end of it.
Yeah.
But wow.
Anyway, so that has been Elizabeth, that was the other one. Yeah. Elizabeth and Ference. a bloody love story.
I don't like it.
I know. Or Bathory, the international conspiracy against a widow who was just trying to, like, make the best of a really shitty few years following a bunch of wars. We don't know. We have no idea.
Either way, just wow. That's all I could say. I have no idea how to feel about this. Because, again, everything is alleged.
I know I shouldn't hope for the, like... I know I shouldn't be like, oh, yeah, I really hope that the gory thing is true. But also, like...
I just like the
There's
glove.
probably some element of truth to some of it. Like, I know tales kind of get away from us and they get taller and taller. But, like, there's probably some level of truth to...
I just want the glove to be real.
You want the glove?
The glove. I don't know why. It's the one and only thing I want.
It's because it's kind of sexy. It's
hot.
Yeah.
It's fucking hot.
Lady Gaga rocked it.
I know. Oh, yeah, she did it. Oh, my God. That was the first season I watched of American Horror Story.
It's so good.
And I loved it. Her performance was amazing. And so I went back and then I watched Coven, which is my other favorite.
Anyway, this has been a fucking podcast. We're a hot mess and we're hungry.
Very.
Hungry ladies. So we're going to go eat and we will see ya. No.
Well, we gotta put the... How are they going to talk to us?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That is exactly the question I was going to
to
answer. I think this would be a great opportunity to subscribe to us on Instagram at Well-Behaved Women.
Yes.
You can email us at Gmail, or you can just email us at wellbehavedwomenpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
You can find us on Facebook. We have a page, Well-Behaved Women Podcast.
Yeah.
You can find us on Reddit at r/wellbehavedwomenpodcast.
No, it's just Well-Behaved Women.
Just Well-Behaved Women on that one.
We got the jump on before someone else took it.
And then what is our Threads name since we are on Threads?
Well-Behaved Women Podcast. It's the same as the Instagram. They were able to like at the launch of the thing, they were able to import basically everyone's usernames from Instagram. So
perfect. So if you have our Instagram, you have our Threads.
Yes.
And then last but not least, you can find our website where we have all of our sources linked. I'm promising that now, but I'm going to try to get it done by the time this airs.
Nice.
If not, it's coming soon. But that website is wellbehavedwomenpodcast@gmail.com. And I'm not going to tell you one of our other social medias that used to be a bird icon. Now it's a...
X?
Yeah.
A non-X?
I don't think we're using that.
We haven't been using it in quite a while, so
so you don't rely on that one.
Oh.
I wouldn't... Try Threads. And even...
Yeah.
I hear it's okay.
It's fine. The usership dropped, I think, by half, like after the first week or something. But
yeah,
it's still functional and really fun.
All right,
cool. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.